Hello, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Barricade. I'm your host, Papa Dank, and we continue to mourn the loss of Wyndham Rotunda, aka Bray Wyatt, today. As today it has been announced that there will be a special SmackDown tonight, so I'm sure everybody will be tuning in. I know I will be to hear all the great stories about what a great man he was. Unfortunately, he passed away yesterday, and I join everybody in mourning him, and our condolences always to the family, his kids, his wife, his family, his fans, and his friends. Let's keep him in our thoughts and hug everybody tight, man. Tell them you love them. It's very important nowadays. All right, without further ado, let me bring out my very special guest. Glad she's finally here. The one and only Shawna Reed. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You know, still at a shock as everybody else is in this moment.
Yeah.
I didn't know it would, you know, every time you hear about a passing of a wrestler, you know, you feel sad and all that, but this one really hit me hard.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that's all I can really say about that. But all right, let's go into tomorrow. You have this going on tomorrow. SCW in Illinois. Who are you wrestling tomorrow in SCW?
I'm wrestling two girls. So one is Angel, and then I don't remember the other one's name. I think it's Natasha something.
Okay.
I've never met either girl, but it's a triple threat match.
Awesome. So you just put it in the triple threat match with them?
Yep, I think I was just put there. They're regulars, and then they're bringing me in. So
That's awesome. Is it going to be like a number one contenders match, or will it be like
it's number one contenders for their show next month.
Okay. Awesome. All right, let's start off with how you fell in love with this wonderful world that we call professional wrestling.
I pretty much always say it was a geeky childhood dream of mine.
Uh,
Just like my brother introduced me into it when we were kids, playing the PS2. Like we would play SmackDown versus Raw, and pretty much he would quiz me on like the name of the wrestlers that came up in between the matches. And I that's how I learned pretty much everybody. And then I started watching it, and then like, oh, this is an actual real thing that goes on. This is a real show.
right.
So pretty much hooked from there.
Who was your favorite to play in the game?
Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go into now. You've grown up a little bit, and now you want to be a professional wrestler. So where did you go train? Who were your trainers, and what were your thoughts during that initial training?
So my first trainer was Cody Hawk. I went to him in 2015 because I was a huge Dean Ambrose fan, and I lived in Cincinnati, and that's where he was from. So I looked up who trained him and reached out to him, and started training there immediately. I trained there for about 6 years. And then when Dustin Rhodes opened up his school, I moved to Texas for a little bit and Dustin Rhodes' first training class at the Rhodes Wrestling Academy.
Wow.
So kind of continued training there, and still to this day, like I go back quite a few times, and yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. What was the best advice Dustin ever gave you?
Oh God.
I bet you gave you a lot, though.
Yeah, there was a lot. Like obviously, he has that moniker. His logo is pretty much keep stepping. And as someone who's been in the business for, it's almost 8 years now with me, and obviously I felt like I was at a standstill, which is why I went to his school to kind of refresh everything. And once I got that all situated, like he just really like worked with me and saw a lot in me. To pretty much like he actually pushed me the hardest out of everybody in that class. So that was really, really cool. And to be kind of taken under his wing, like as a solo kind of thing as well. He'd work with me more on the side, which was really, really helpful and really a cool experience.
Awesome. All right. Now tell me about your first professional match. Who was your opponent and what were your emotions and thoughts during that first match?
My first match ever was against Zoe Sky. She did go as Angel Dust then.
Okay.
Yeah, but I actually didn't know it was happening until the night before, because I was still training, so I hadn't even been in the business like 3 months yet.
Okay.
And my trainer Cody called me literally the night before and said, "Look, I know it's so short notice. I know you don't have gear. I know you have nothing." He's like, "But do you want to wrestle tomorrow?" And I was like, "You mean on a show in front of people?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "No." I was like,
Oh,
I'm not ready, and I'm definitely not going to like take a chance with like screwing his name over, like being like, "Oh, this girl's terrible."
right.
Um, and he's like, he was like questioning me why, and I told him that, and then he pulled the whole "if you don't trust yourself, trust me" card,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, crap. I said, "Fine, I'll do it." Literally went to Kohl's at like 10 o'clock at night to get some tights that looked a little bit like gear.
Uh-huh.
I had boots, and then it ended up like I was for a show that Bobby Fulton was running,
Mhm.
and there was over freaking like 1,500 people in the crowd.
Oh,
My
wow.
freaking first match, and like Road Warrior Animal, all of them were on the show, and I'm like, just kill me now. And but so
Oh,
it was
wow.
such a amazing experience,
Uh-huh.
and Zoe took great care of me. She's an amazing worker in general as it is. She's actually one of my really good friends now and one of my most favorite competitors. Um, but like she took such good care of me. Like, and afterwards, I pretty much cried because it was like it was a moment,
Yeah, I
like
bet, man.
you never think would ever happen. And it's just an indie show, but like still, like
It's still a big moment for you, your first time
right,
going out there, you know what I'm saying?
exactly,
I understand it, trust me.
yeah.
All right, tell me about your most challenging match you've ever had and why.
Oh gosh.
You probably a lot come to mind, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's always probably so I a lot of the times like when you tape things,
Mhm.
you do them at like late at night. Like they're taping all day long. Like they can even go into like the obviously like the 3 a.m.s like in the like so sometimes some of the matches you see on TV are filmed literally at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. It's
Oh,
like
I didn't know that.
yeah. So like I did my very first AEW I did. I actually ended up we filmed it at like 2:30 in the morning.
Mhm.
It was um at the Jacksonville Stadium when COVID was going on, so it wasn't in front of a live crowd.
Right, right.
And yeah, like so that I like to sleep. I can't stay awake. I have stage 1 narcolepsy too. So like I fall
Oh
asleep
no,
when I'm tired. I need to
you're
sleep.
out.
Like and like I was there from starting at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. and
Oh,
still it was
wow.
like 2:30 in the morning and we still hadn't had all the matches and shit done.
Oh,
So I was
wow.
like, yeah, that was probably the most challenging, being able to stay awake and being able to like go out there and perform like it's like it isn't 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wow. Who are your opponents that night?
That night was Britt Baker.
Mm. So you got a chance to work with Britt Baker. Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Man, she was up till 2 in the morning too with all of you.
Yep.
Wow, that's tough, man. I'm not gonna say that's tough, man. All right, let's go into opponent you want to wrestle but haven't wrestled thus far,
Hmm.
and why. I'm sure you got a bunch.
Yeah. Um, I'd love to wrestle Mickey James at some point. That's that's definitely on the bucket list of things to do.
Okay.
Um, and obviously for the many reasons, just because
Right.
like
It's Mickey
obviously,
James.
yeah, exactly. Um, I don't, I don't know. I'm very into like because I'm a very tall girl and like I'm a lot bigger than a lot of girls, so I do a lot of mixed gender stuff. Um, so I think I'd like to wrestle on the indies. He's like we pretty much call each other like brother and sister. His name's Omega, and I'd love to work him on a match. We've like been backstage. Literally, he's one of my best guy friends. He's awesome. I love him, but
Uh-huh.
we never got to actually work. So I'd love for that to happen at some point.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Who would be second if you had to choose a second?
mm, let's see.
I just talked to someone who said she wrestled you.
Oh yeah, Jensen.
Yes, that's it, Jensen.
Yeah, yeah. Another dream opponent on the. I'm trying to think on the indies, but You know, if like she's not on the indies and she's not even technically even wrestling anymore, but like my biggest dream would be AJ Lee to share a ring with her.
AJ, I know, yeah.
She's actually the woman that got me really into wrestling again, so made me fall back in love with it. So
It's funny you brought her up because I'm a big Funko Pop guy,
mm-hmm.
and I just got myself a mint AJ Lee Pop.
Oh, nice.
And she's really hard to find.
Nice.
And she's easily fake because there's a lot of fakes out there. So lucky for me, I know my Funkos. I was like, yes, this is it. I'm picking it up. It was like $300 and something.
Oh, geez.
But I snatched it, and it was signed too. So that was a bonus.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
All right. What about? I'm gonna throw a name out there for you. I don't know if you wrestled her yet. Brittany Brooks.
I don't know her. You
don't know Brittany Brooks? Okay. All right. Remember that name. She's making some waves over there. Okay. All right, let's go into some of your favorite hobbies. What do you like to do on your time off from wrestling?
Finally, like I don't really get a lot of time because I'm working consistently. So literally, I love to finally just be able to like sit on the couch and like just sit there and not have
to relax.
Yes, and like actually, because it's such a rare thing that I get to do. But like I've got like 2 dogs, so just like to like honestly just be able to actually spend time with them and take them on walks or do something like that. Like I'm such an easy, laid back going person. Like I travel so much as it is anyway, so it's like, oh, I don't even like want to travel anymore. I just want to stay at home for a full day without having to do anything.
Is there any state that you haven't worked in yet? Because I see that you're all over the place.
Yeah, there's actually quite a lot of states I haven't worked in yet. Like I haven't worked in Mississippi, Louisiana, like just like Iowa, Kansas, Oklahoma. Like I haven't really wrestled much on the West Coast. Like I've wrestled in California, I've wrestled in Nevada, Texas,
New York.
No, I did an AEW in New York, but I was backstage. I was just extra, and they didn't use any of us, so I have not wrestled in New York.
Interesting.
I did AEW, so if you count that, but I was, like I said, backstage.
Gotcha. Okay. What was the best arena you've worked out of, and why?
I like the Little Caesars Arena, the Pitts. I think that's in. I think it's in Detroit. It's either in Detroit or it's in Pittsburgh. I don't remember which one it's in. But that's just a really cool arena to be backstage in, and just like there's a lot backstage. So that's pretty badass.
All right, awesome. What are some of the goals you have set yourself for the rest of the year?
For the rest of the year is I've been going to the UK a lot, and I came back from wrestling in the UK a few weeks ago. My passport went missing. So that goal for the first goal is I had to cancel because I was supposed to be going back over there in October because I got to get my passport again. So that's the first and main goal before the end of the year is to get that passport back so I can start going back over there full time again.
Oh, man. They can't just issue you a new one?
No, you have to literally cancel your passport, and then you have to go through everything again, like to get a whole new one.
Jeez, that sucks.
Yeah, so I'm getting that. I have that appointment next week. So.
Okay, so hopefully, maybe you get it in time so you can go.
Maybe, but I've started to hear some horror stories that's taken like 6 months to get them, and I'm like, crap.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What was your best UK experience over
there? So I tag with my boyfriend over there. He's my tag partner, and so honestly, I'd say the best UK experience is obviously me and him getting together and then getting to actually do like getting to wrestle with him like side by side is really, really fun and really cool. I just had a really fun match with one of their girls over there, and a Falls Count Anywhere match. I just did that the last time I was there, so a few weeks ago. But yeah, so pretty much I guess the best thing over there is obviously getting to work with him. And
awesome.
Yeah.
Good deal. All right, let's go into gimmick match you want to be in that you haven't been in yet, and why?
Let's see. I've done Last Woman. I've done Street Fight. I've done.
All right. As you're thinking about it, what was the best gimmick match you've been in then?
Well, the Last Woman Standing match was fun. It was me versus Ari Alexander at FTW, so that was fun. I love working Ari. She's so good, and we just click really, really well.
Uh,
So yeah, that one was a good time with her. Um, I can't really think of one that I feel like I've been in almost every gimmick match except a light tube match, and I never want to be in
oh
a
man,
light tube
death
match.
match. Yeah, no, I don't
Yeah,
blame you with that one.
yeah. I'm like I've been in every gimmick match that I feel like I want to be in, and I'm good. More kudos to all those people that do it. Like
uh,
kudos to everyone. But like I'm definitely not a street fight. Like no, thank you. Like I'm good.
okay, if you had to go into any of the big promotions, which promotion do you think would be the best fit for you?
I don't know anymore. Like, I came into this business like I want to go straight to WWE. Like that was the goal.
Right.
Um, and then obviously I've worked quite a few times from backstage, and I'm like, is this really where I want to be? I've done the same thing with AEW, and that view has changed drastically as well.
Mhm.
So, but if I like were to choose anything, I think that obviously WWE is still going to be the number one choice for me. If I were to sign with anywhere, it would be WWE, hopefully at some point before my time's up in this business.
Okay.
But if not, I just like even just getting to be a trainer somewhere, that would be fun.
What were some of the experiences you had when you were at WWE?
Oh,
Positive.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you have both positive and negative anywhere you go.
Okay.
But it's just really, like I said, really cool to like be able to. Sometimes your childhood heroes are back there, and like you're literally watching the show with like freaking Rey Mysterio sitting right next to you, or
Oh
like
wow,
like you're eating lunch at the same table as Cena. Like it's just like these
that's pretty
things
cool.
that you're like. I literally had John Cena like he took my bags and like carried them to the locker room for me, and I was like, no, please give me my bags. Like I don't want freaking Vince to see you carrying my bag. Like I'm never gonna get booked again. And he's like, no, just give me your bag. And I'm like, because I was on the struggle bus. So
That's awesome. That's a great
yeah,
story.
yeah. So um, yeah, it's been pretty positive. Obviously, you have your negatives and just stuff happens, and
Right. We don't have
but
to go into that. Let's
exactly,
let's, let's
but
just be the positive. Let's talk about the positive.
exactly. So, but just being like I said around like these people you grew up watching, or even getting to be a part of like a little vignette that they're in or whatever. Um, is that's just really like mind blowing, and to see their setup and like to watch them, it's insane.
Okay. Did you ever get a chance to meet
To meet who?
Bray Wyatt?
Yeah, multiple times.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask you because it's just fresh on everybody's mind. What were your experiences with him?
He's been nothing but so sweet and such a gentleman. Like I'm not gonna lie, when I first went in there, like before I even started wrestling, like this is how you know someone is so good. Like I went to a few like conventions and stuff before, like even just as a trainee. And when the Wyatt family was there, I avoided them because they were creepy as hell, and I did not want to be anywhere around them. They actually genuinely creeped me out.
Right.
But then when I obviously became a worker, and I'm like, oh my god, like he's freaking
Genius.
amazing. This like the fact that he could install that feeling in me,
Right.
like is just mind blowing to me. And every time I've met him backstage, he's been nothing but a sweetheart. He was one of the few that come up and will actually like say hi to the extras or like have a conversation with them.
Mhm.
Obviously, if he was busy, he was doing his thing,
Right.
but like he did take time to if he was not busy, he took time to come up and like at least say hi or whatever. So he was a good guy, and he was just fun to watch.
Yeah.
He was fun as a person and just fun to watch in the ring, and you don't get a lot of that anymore. And it's like he's gone way too soon, and literally the wrestling world has lost one of like probably the greatest characters and performers it's ever going to see. And it does suck. It sucks so bad.
It does, man. It does. You talk about those emotions, and you're right. I mean, even as a fan watching them on TV, you get those emotions when you see like everybody like just flashing the light in a dark stadium,
Yeah.
and then he comes out with the lantern. Just to invoke that emotion in people is a true, genuine gift. A lot of people don't have that, especially in wrestling. It's very
Right.
rare that someone can invoke that. Someone like the Undertaker is another one that stands to mind.
Yes.
That can invoke that feeling in you, and it's just a tragic loss, man. And Yeah, I don't even know what to say. It's like it's just
Right.
tough. It's tough. All right. Where do you see yourself in a couple of years from now?
Um, I don't know. It changes like daily for me. Like, I mean, obviously, probably still see myself still doing this. And then hopefully, obviously, there's always that hope that you'll be signed to some company. So there's that, and even if not, then I see either just continuing what I'm doing, or hopefully, I'm even helping train people somewhere.
Right. You know what's a good question I want to ask you? What has been your best fan interaction so far?
Fan interaction. I don't. I've had a lot of amazing ones. Like I've had people like travel, like, and I mean like for a few hours just to come see me,
Oh
and that
wow,
always to me is like amazing. Like,
that's awesome.
yeah, the fact that they would do that. So it's really really cool for that. So
Awesome. You seem so down to earth and humble. That's awesome, man. I love seeing that in professional wrestlers. Obviously, there's a lot of wrestlers that aren't so friendly and nice, but you seem like you're one of those really good, nice ones. So kudos to you, man. Keep you're inspiring someone. They're coming hours to see you. You know what I'm saying? So good job on that. Any last thoughts before we head out?
No.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the
Yeah.
podcast. Had so much fun talking to you. Tomorrow you'll be at this event, SCW. I'm sure you can go to their website and get your tickets for that event, or just show up at the door and buy your tickets. And for $20, that's pretty cheap. Up here in New York, it's like $30.
Oh yeah.
It's expensive out here. Where else can everybody follow you and other appearances you have coming up?
So you can follow me on Facebook if you just type in my name. And then Instagram is Shawna_Reed, and Twitter, well, I guess X now is Shawna Reed 93. So I'm on all platforms. So
Awesome. As for myself, I will be not at this event, but it's my home promotion. VPW Sanctified coming up September 9th. Make sure you go to victoryprowrestling.com to get tickets for that event. It's very important to keep promoting independent wrestling out there. It's producing future stars. And I will also be at Blaze of Glory for Titan Championship Wrestling and Goddesses of War, as I am the official podcast of that event. And we've got the Deadly Sins coming up. They're all coming up in their first podcast appearance before the event. I'm so excited for that, as well as I am part of the Wrestling Is Now social media tour. And we got some great stuff coming up in September before their next show, Brain Buster, which I thought I had the poster here somewhere. It's here somewhere. I can't find it. I got so much stuff. But you can check out the latest vlog, the Maximo Legacy vlog, where I am hanging out with the SATs themselves. And they keep eyeing my 23-6 YouTube championship, Shawna, and I got to keep them away from me for a moment.
yeah.
We got one more comment before we go. Serena says, and you're doing good things if people keep mentioning you and their matches with you. That is absolutely true. Jensen definitely mentioned you on the podcast that I had with her, and all I hear is good things about you. And keep it up, man. And hopefully, you get signed, and we'll see you on TV every week.
Hopefully.
Everybody else, have a good night. Shawna, just stay on for a moment. Everybody else, see you later. Make sure you